right. Welcome to the YouTube channel at Nelly Inks. Let me turn on the camera. Yo! We're going to be reviewing Chapter 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. This is kind of the hot manga right now. Story and art by Gege Akutami. This volume was really tough to find. And yeah, I mean, it sold out everywhere I went, basically. But I finally found it at my local store. Should have been the first place I looked, but yeah, the major stores, Barnes and Noble, and those places, like their two stores, it was really tough to find. But I had done this video earlier, but it kind of cut off, and it was also like a read through. I've read up to, I think, maybe chapter 10 or 15. So I'm gonna do review videos until I catch up, and then I'll actually do read-throughs again, so I can do like live reactions. But I don't want to keep you guys too long. I want to keep this one short. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go page by page, more or less, of what happened here in the first chapter. I think this manga is amazing, and I think they have a really good thing going. I think it's up to chapter 100 something as well, so we might want to release a few videos a day so we can catch up a little faster. But really quickly, this is about a maybe 30-page first chapter. It's called Ryomen Sukuna. The first page here is like a shot of the hallway where a lot of the stuff goes down in this first chapter. The intro page, we have one of our main characters, Fushiguro. He's looking for a piece of this curse called Sukuna. We come to find out later that it is a finger. He calls it a special grade cursed object. This cursed object turns out to be a finger of this evil spirit, Sukuna. Then the next page, we get kind of all the characters from the story all in one shot. The only thing I don't like about this page is that it's just really dark. You can't really see the detail and all of that. So they should have maybe used a little more white in the image. But the story starts with our main character, Yuji Itadori, Yuji Itadori. My bad. Sorry, Yuji. He's hanging out with his friends at the Occult Research Club. This cult is promptly broken up because there's only 3 members in the club, and they say you have to have up to 3 members. And Yuji, he is pretty much a track star, but he wants to just chill out with his homies in the Occult Research Club. But the coach of the track team kind of takes his name off the list and puts him on the track team. So then all of a sudden, the Occult Research Club has to BTFO. But basically, let me pause some of this background music here. But basically, the coach is trying to get him involved in the track team because Yuji is like an Olympic level athlete for a high schooler. And let's see. I guess there have been reports of players getting sick on the field. Players playing on the field have been starting to get sick, and there's been, I guess, some paranormal activity that the research club is onto. We have our main character, or one of our main characters again. What's his name? Fushiguro. These names are a little tough to say. I wish they would have made it a little easier for the Western audience. But Fushiguro, he's doing a little research, kind of some detective work. You see him on the field, and the thing about these curses is that normal people can't see them unless you're trained in the arts of the cursed arts. Maybe some people are a little more in tune with the evil spirits. Maybe like some of the members from the research club. I think they realize that there's something fishy going on. And you come to find out that Yuji is also very in tune with the evil spirits and is able to see them fully. Um, so yeah, Fushiguro is looking for the cursed object and is not able to find it. Cut back to the track and field where Yuji has bet against the coach, saying basically, if I throw this shot put further than you, then I am going to stay with the research club and hang out with the homies. So Yuji, being an Olympic level athlete, he throws the shot put twice as far and leaves a dent on the poor soccer goalpost. So he goes back to the research club. Um, Let me see if there's anything I'm missing. All right. So Yuji ends up passing by Fushiguro, who notices some evil kind of spirit with Yuji. But Yuji is in a hurry, so he runs to the hospital to see his grandfather, who is on basically on his deathbed. I'm sorry, guys. He's not doing very well, but so he's talking to his grandfather, who's kind of like his father figure in all of this. And he tells him something very important, very similar to kind of the Spider-Man Uncle Ben telling him, Uncle Ben telling Spider-Man or Peter Parker basically, with great power comes great responsibility. Here, Yuji's grandpa is telling him, "You're a strong kid, so help people." And Yuji remembers that later in the story when things start hitting the fan. Um, he says it doesn't have to be all the time, just whenever you can. You may feel lost. Don't expect gratitude, just help them. And basically, he doesn't want Yuji to end up alone on his deathbed with only one kid coming to visit him. And that's when his grandfather dies, and Yuji has to sign some documents and stuff. And that's where Fushiguro finds him in the hospital again. Um, and he's kind of interrogating Yuji and is like, "Yo, what was that evil energy I felt? This is this thing I'm looking for, this cursed object." He shows him a picture. But at the same time, this is cool because Fushiguro kind of starts giving him the rundown of the power system in this story about cursed energy. He says places where crowds gather, like schools or hospitals, are susceptible to receiving cursed energy. The majority of energy is the result of negative energy that flows out of people that result in a curse. Pain, regret, humiliation. The more people dwell on bad memories, the more these places become receptive to those feelings. For that reason, a cursed object is often found at such places as a talisman. The object you found is such an item. And basically, he tells them to, let's see, the more evil placed on a cursed object, the more it deflects other curses, using poison to fend off poison. That's basically the power system here. After many years, the seal weakens and the talisman essentially changes form and then starts attracting other curses. So he's giving you a lot of information in these two couple pages. He also tells that there's a number of unexplained deaths, over 10,000 unexplained deaths a year. And that's why he's looking for this thing, because it's going to cause a lot of havoc. So he's telling Yuji, "Yo, I know you have something, hand it over." Yuji throws him a box, and the box is empty. Yuji tells him that the Occult Research Club is about to remove the seal, and that they're probably doing so now. So then Fushiguro's like, "Freak, I better go run back to the high school." After running back, after running all the way to the hospital, I have to run back to the high school. So that sucks for him. Yuji follows him. We go back to the high school in some random room. I don't know why. I guess Yuji couldn't join them because he was going to see his grandpa. But so the research club, the boy and the girl are hanging out and start removing the seal. and it reveals the cursed object finally, which is a human. Well, they say it's a human finger. They don't know exactly what it is, but it does look like a finger. And then all of a sudden, the crap starts hitting the fan, and we get the evil homies coming from the ceiling. They look pretty amazing because they look a lot like the some of the Nen beasts from Hunter x Hunter. So there were definitely some comparisons between Hunter and um, Jujutsu Kaisen. So let's see what happens. It's Fushiguro and Yuji running back to the high school. Then they feel some negative energy. Fushiguro's trying to get inside the school. He tells Yuji to stay where he is because this is not his element. Then we start seeing some evil baddies like this guy who looks like he has a toupee. I love his look. And right away, it just makes me want to keep on reading because I'm kind of into like some of the monster stuff and things, like looking like this. But it does have a bit of a comedic element, at least in the first half of this chapter. But now things are going to get a little dark. And then, so they show the girl hiding out. She's hiding. She's afraid. This guy has a toupee and he's a monster. Then she sees her friend who's been covered up by this evil cursed energy. That sucks for him. And then Fushiguro is going upstairs. He runs into a monster, cursed spirit, and he hears some screams. And then Fushiguro gets into attack mode, and he has these awesome dogs, which are kind of like shadow animals. They show up. He says, "Go and feast." Badass. Yuji's having an existential crisis. He's a little afraid of death, having just seen, his grandpa just pass away right in front of him. He's kind of beside himself, wondering what he's doing, just standing there when his friends are in trouble. So Fushiguro's in action, killing off some cursed spirits until he runs into this evil toupee monster trying to eat both of Yuji's friends. Then out of nowhere, Yuji fucking, oops, sorry, shouldn't be cursing on YouTube. He comes crashing through the window and punches or kicks the monster in its stupid head. and and yeah, pulls his friends off the monster so they don't get swallowed. And then that's where Fushiguro comes into action and takes down the spirit. His dogs are basically feasting on the leftovers. And this is where Itadori tells him that, yeah, I can see that. I can see that monster. And Fushiguro is like, huh, you can see it. That's great. That's amazing. Kind of scary too. I would be afraid to see some ghosts and stuff. So, and what else do we have here? The finger slips on the floor, and just as that happens, you see the roof starts caving in, which looks like a hand. It's probably another cursed demon. Fushiguro's dogs save Yuji and the others from getting collapsed on, but Fushiguro's not so lucky. This evil demon cockroach-looking thing, he comes from the roof and he slams Fushiguro against the wall and then breaks through the wall, sending him to sort of a bridge between the two buildings of the high school. Fushiguro's in a bad state of affairs. Then Itadori just comes in and clocks the demon in the head. Fushiguro's like, I thought I told you to run. He's like, nah, bro, I'm here to help people. This is my lot in life. And then he's fighting the demon just barehanded, basically. And the demon gets a good hit on the top of Yuji's head. His head bounces off the the floor. He's bleeding. Fushiguro's trying to stand up. and things are looking pretty bad. Both guys have stood up, uh, and Fushiguro just wants him to run away. Um, let's see. So he says, "Hey, is the curse targeting the finger?" Fushiguro says it plans on eating it to become stronger. So there is a way to save everyone. And Fushiguro's like, "What? I just need some cursed energy, right?" And then what? And the guy Itadori just goes and eats a finger, which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He eats the finger. All of a sudden, Fushiguro's like, yo, that's the special grade object. It's basically a poison. I was just describing that earlier. Um, and he's saying there's only 1 in a million chance that you can actually eat that and be a host to this curse. And then, just as he says that, the cursed spirit is about to attack Yuji to get the finger, and then Yuji just takes one swipe, and the cursed demon is gone. And that's basically how it ends. But all of a sudden, you see Yuji transform into the evil demon Sukuna, the cursed spirit Sukuna. And Sukuna's hella excited. He rips off his shirt to show his tattoos. He's been reincarnated. Um, he's like, where are the people? Where are the women? What a wonderful age it has become. Women and children spawning like maggots. It's marvelous. He's looking down on the town. He's thinking of how many lives he can ruin. He says it'll be a massacre. And then Yuji, all of a sudden, seems to have it under control. He says, what do you think you're doing with my body? Give it back. And Sukuna's like, how are you able to move? And Yuji's like, well, it is my body. He's like, I'm kind of like Two-Face. I can suppress it. Fushiguro is about to attack him, saying, don't move. We need to exorcise you. You are the curse known as Yuji Itadori. And that's the end of the chapter. What a crazy chapter. Um, Shoot, just on that second read through, I'm kind of like, I almost want to just give it a 10. Like, it's got all my interest. I love the little cliffhanger ending. I want to know what's happening next. And yeah, we have some really cool demon looking things, even though it took a second for the action to kick in. Once it did, it just kept going. I've mentioned it in the past video, but I'll reiterate it here. Um, the pros, the pacing is just like fast paced. Fast paced. We get to see some special moves already. You know, in Hunter, it's a bit of a slow burn, and then it really picks up. But we don't even see the power system for another couple chapters in Hunter. But in Kaisen, we see it right away. Basically, at least in the first chapter, we see it right away. Um, you know, and yeah, the curse spirits look pretty awesome. The main characters are pretty awesome too. I think the biggest con would just be we don't really get too much of the grandfather's background, and he's kind of like vital to Itadori. So maybe they could have fleshed it out. They say that he's like a father figure, but there's not really much else that they say about this guy. Also, some of like the oh, there you go, guys. That's what I have to go through in my neighborhood. But yeah, some of these early characters, none of them are that important except for Yuji. They just mostly seem like fodder. Like the coach, I don't think he ever comes back in the story. The guy who breaks up the occult meeting, research clubs meeting, you never really see him again. And yeah, I think the biggest maybe not a huge disappointment, but the grandfather is just like he gets like 2 or 3 pages, and he gets 2 pages basically, and then he's dead by the third page. So um, maybe they could have fleshed that out a little bit. Usually, I have some final words for you. It's about your parents. Usually says, "I don't care." It's about your parents. He says, "I don't care." Well, you stop trying to act cool before you die. A man wants to go out in style, you know. Don't you get it? Don't be buying me flowers. He says it's for the nurses. How about the club? Don't go wasting time in a sad place like this. He's like, enough. Um, so yeah, the exchange there is a little weird. It's like this is the guy, this is all you have in your life, and you don't even let him like tell you about your parents, and also we don't really even hear about him. So that's only 2 or 3 pages, but it seems like it should have been a little more significant. We maybe could have gotten a little bit more. I don't think we get any more from what I've read and seen of the anime, but that's pretty much it. All in all, I would give it. I don't really want to do reviews like that, but good chapter. I'm intrigued. I like the characters for the most part. I like the pacing. It's just a lot of action. And I like the premise. You know, you have these sorcerers exorcising demons. I'm into it. So let's go. We'll come back tomorrow with another review. And maybe we could do this daily, something like that. So really appreciate you guys listening and watching me on YouTube. Nelly Inks on YouTube. You guys can hit that thumbs up if you like the contents of this video. Hit the bell icon to get notifications. Comment and subscribe. Make sure to hit that like button and follow me on Twitter at Nelly Inks. Really appreciate everyone watching now or in the future. And I'm gone. We'll be back tomorrow with chapter 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's freaking go. Have a good evening and